I had a few guys fighting last week, so last week's video was quite boxing heavy, but this week I'm going to answer a lot more questions. Pescatarian is essentially a vegetarian that eats fish and some dairy products. The reason I done what I called Pescatarian week is because the week prior to that I was on holiday, and I've got to admit my food wasn't great, and I needed kind of a week to kind of reset the clock. And eating plenty of vegetables and fish is a great way to do that. The super greens are good, the multivitamins are okay, but you would do better to find out genetically possibly where you might be deficient in some vitamins, and then supplementing with the actual individual vitamins themselves. In terms of protein supplements, I very rarely recommend or give out a protein supplement. The only time I do this is when I've got a professional athlete training 2 or 3 times a day, 6 days a week, and only then, if they start to struggle through their training sessions, do we look at a protein supplement. And even then, we look for what you could consider a kind of a real food protein. And that's, first of all, we go for a hemp-based protein, and then after that, if we want to kind of go up a notch, we would look at a whey protein isolate, but a good grass-fed organic whey protein isolate. It's not that protein is bad. It's not that too much protein is bad. It's more of a case if you've got your other macronutrients down to a T, so your carbohydrates are at a good level, your fats are at a good level, and you put too much protein into the system, your liver goes through a process called gluconeogenesis, where essentially what it does is it turns your protein into a glucose molecule in the bloodstream. So essentially the same as when you eat carbohydrates, it gives you that glucose increase in the bloodstream, and that can have an adverse effect if you are trying to lose weight or trying to lose body fat. My thoughts on intermittent fasting is that it's usually beneficial to our health. I think the science is now showing that the cell regeneration that happens when we're in a fasted state, is hugely beneficial. I personally try and do a fast, once every 10 days. Generally what I do is I go from dinner, and then I will skip breakfast and then eat at lunch, or if I want to try and do an extended fast, I'll try and go through to, from dinner till dinner the next day. The only time I wouldn't recommend doing it is if you're in a heavy training session, or you're in a heavy training program, because you might find yourself bonking out a little bit quick if you're in a fasted state. I've played around with lots of different apps, but the best one I've found for logging foods is MyFitnessPal. It's free, you can tailor it to your own needs, you can set your macronutrient levels in there. Most of the foods you're looking for are all in there. It's a good app. My favourite forms of carbohydrates, and ones I recommend all my clients to use, is sweet potato, rice, couscous, quinoa, obviously fruits and vegetables, and on some occasions some oats. My go-to oil for cooking is always coconut oil. I I steer clear of vegetable oil like the plague, and I dress my salads in some extra virgin olive oil.